Hi, Gary here again, and this is the second video in the Giving Route Directions series. This is going to deal with right reverse, reverse parking, bay parking and emergency stop. So we'll start off with the right reverse. So correct terminology would be to ask the people to pull up on the left before reaching the junction on the right, then drive past the junction, keeping to their side of the road, then pull up on the right after the junction and reverse around the corner, keeping close to the curb and reversing for a good distance. Reverse parking or parallel parking. So initially the direction would be to pull up behind the vehicle, which we covered in the last video, and then you would say something like drive alongside the parked car ahead and stop, then reverse into a parallel and neat parking position. You have between 1.5 and 2 car lengths maximum in which to finish it or complete it. Bay parking. So this could be at the beginning or the end of the test. We'll deal with this one at the beginning of the test. So at the start of the test, the examiner might say, I'd like you to drive out of this bay, turn to the left or the right and stop, and then reverse into any other bay of your choice. And remember that you must finish with all 4 wheels within the lines. If this was at the end of the test, coming back into the test centre, because they would only do it at the test centre, then the examiner would ask the people to pause as they came into the test centre and just explain that they wanted them to reverse into a bay. It will be the choice of the pupil which bay. If there's bays on both sides, it could be the left or the right. It's entirely up to the pupil, and then we just ask them to reverse into any bay of their choice. So there's 2 different scenarios there, one at the beginning, one at the end. Then we have the emergency stop. So initially you would find somewhere safe to pull up on the left, so that you could explain that shortly you're going to ask the pupil to carry out the emergency stop exercise. Tell them the signal, so you would explain the signal would be stop, and at that point you would put your right hand underneath the interior mirror facing forwards and say stop in a firm voice. Explain that at this time you'd like the pupil to stop the car under full control and as quickly as possible, as if a child's run into the road. Explain that you would look over your shoulder and make sure that it's safe to do it, but not to take that as a prompt to do the emergency stop and wait for the signal. So that's kind of the way that the examiner would say it. If you get into the habit of saying it like that for your pupils, they'll understand that and they won't be too surprised when they get that in the test itself. And that's it on that one. So the motto again, 20 letters, 10 words, 1 meaning. If it is to be, it is up to me. So prepare to pass.